When Lonzo Ball was selected second overall in the 2017 NBA draft, he was considered to be one of the most dynamic and exciting players to come along in ages. Now, he didn't live up to those lofty expectations, but he did start to carve out a really solid career, and then an injury changed everything. He missed 2 years of NBA basketball, but now he's back and he's available on the trade market. Is Lonzo Ball worth trading for in 2024? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe to our fast-growing channel. Come along for the ride with us on this basketball journey. So Lonzo Ball was an incredible player, taken second overall by the Lakers in the 2017 NBA draft, known for his fantastic passing, his ability to run the fast break, and his three-point shooting. That didn't show up initially when he first came into the league. In fact, he actually struggled a bit with his shot, but eventually he found his way. Lonzo, over the course of his career, has put up some pretty good numbers. Now, look, when he initially came into the NBA, shooting just 31% from three, but look at the improvement over time. Right before he was injured during his age 24 season with the Chicago Bulls in the 2021-2022 season, he was shooting 42% from three on 7.4 attempts per game. That's absolutely fantastic. Plus 5.4 rebounds and 5.1 assists. On top of that, when we dive into the advanced metrics for Lonzo Ball, one of the exciting things is that even though he was known for his offense, it was really his defense that was carrying the value for him. You look at what he's been doing. Every single season of his career, his team has flat out been better with him on the floor than with him off when we look at the differential here on cleaning the glass. And look at the defense. Points per possession. Chicago Bulls, the last time Lonzo Ball was actually healthy, his team ranked in the 96th percentile defensively when he was on the floor. Absolutely incredible stuff. Not what you expected from him coming out of college. He was seen as this offensive mastermind, but no, it was actually the defensive side of the ball. But the good thing is that if Lonzo can shoot the three and defend at this level, there are a bunch of teams in the NBA right now that could use a high-level defensive guard that's got size to him. He's 6'6", and can shoot the open three. And that's exactly what a full health Lonzo Ball can do. Now, unfortunately, he's not been fully healthy, and his return has even been marred by injuries. He dealt with a wrist injury that knocked him out shortly after making his official return to the NBA. But what caused these injuries to begin with? Interestingly enough, Lonzo Ball, who again missed over 2 years of NBA basketball due to a knee injury that at one point his knee was so bad that there was concern just about him being able to walk upstairs, just being able to play with his daughter. He was concerned about quality of life moving forward, not so much getting back on the basketball floor. It's been a long journey for Lonzo Ball, and he believes that it might have to do with his family's brand, Big Baller brand shoes. Here's what Lonzo had to say. He said, according to an article with ESPN, that the shoes that he was wearing and playing basketball in were like kickball shoes. And essentially, what happened when he was asked whether or not the shoes had something to do with his injuries, he said, I think it's a possibility for sure, to be honest with you. I wasn't really getting hurt like that until I started wearing them. He did say that he was an Adidas kid since high school, so I was thinking that was going to be the route, but that was what was told to me, I guess, wasn't what really happened. I was told nobody wanted to partner with me. So my dad was like, just rock the brand. And I was like, all right. So he was told by someone that no shoe company wanted to partner with him, which was not the case. And so he wound up wearing Big Baller brand shoes. He also said he wondered whether there were already cartilage issues deep in his knee before reaching the NBA because of all the years he spent playing on concrete and running in Chino Hills State Park. The California native was known for taking crazy workouts with his dad, with his brothers, all on concrete. He said, my uncle used to tell me y'all play too much outside because we're playing super hard in the backyard, and that's on concrete. That was at least 15 years. They had the backyard set up there that Lakers fans know very, very well. That was at least 15 years. So, I mean, all that over time, it can't be good for your knees. So was it the shoes? Was it playing on all of the concrete? Whatever happened, Lonzo Ball, a very exciting young player, lost years off of his NBA career. But as I said, now Lonzo Ball is back in action. this season, he did have a wrist injury already that knocked him out. So he's only appeared in 6 games right now. And in those 6 games, scored 4.5 points, 3.5 assists, 2.5 rebounds, 1.2 steals, shooting 32% from 3 on 3.7 attempts. 6 games. It's a tiny sample size. Can he get back to being the player that he once was? And if so, could he help a contending team? Could he help any team get back into the mix and get him on the court? And then what's his next contract going to look like? So check out Lonzo Ball, his salary. Not bad at all right now. $21.4 million. Now, has he given the Bulls production over the last few years? No, he's been hurt. And again, scary that at one point he was worried about just being able to climb upstairs. But Lonzo Ball, $21.4 million as an expiring contract. And that is what makes him interesting on the trade market, purely for financial reasons right now. Hopefully that will not be the case come February. But right now, if a team wanted to shed salary, Lonzo Ball's expiring contract would be an attractive trade chip. Maybe not even a chip for the Bulls specifically, but could be for another team. Could be used in a 3-team trade, something to grease the wheels on a deal. The Chicago Bulls very clearly want to pivot more towards their young players, building around Kobe White, Josh Giddey. Ayo Dosunmu could be in that mix. Patrick Williams. They've got plenty of guys. Matas Buzelis, the rookie. They've got plenty of young guys they want to pivot and build around. That means Zach LaVine on the trade market. Nikola Vucevic tearing it up right now, but very much on the trade market at 34 years old. And Lonzo Ball, he's from the previous generation of Chicago Bulls, back when they had DeMar DeRozan. At one point, they looked like one of the most exciting offenses in the NBA, but those days are gone. That era has passed, and the Bulls are ready to move on. So for the time being, Lonzo Ball is only going to be an expiring contract. But if he can get onto the floor between now, here we are, early December, and the trade deadline in February 6th, if he can be on the floor and produce anywhere close to the numbers that we saw from him before he left Chicago, and who knows if he can, maybe it's a minor miracle that he just got back onto the court. But if he can get anywhere near this efficiency and consistency that we saw from him before his injury, 5.4 boards, 5.1 assists, 1.1 steals, a defensive dynamo, and a three-point shooter, plus he's 6'6" and can switch across multiple guard positions. If there is any of that left in Lonzo Ball, he will 100% be a target on the market. And his contract actually helps with that. His contract helps with that quite a bit. Why? Because any team trading for him is not absorbing any long-term risk. If it works with Lonzo Ball, great. You figure out what you're going to do with him over the summer. If he plays great, maybe he gets a decent contract. Maybe it's like a biannual exception. Maybe it's a full mid-level if he plays particularly well. Maybe it's possible that he doesn't play well, and the most a team's willing to risk on him is a veteran minimum, if that. But if you're a team looking to add a piece right now, particularly if you've got salary that isn't helping your team at this moment, if you've got a salary that's up there near Lonzo Ball, swapping him out, he could wind up making a big difference on a contending team if he can get anywhere close to being the player that he was before. Again, he is low risk enough to where somebody might just give him a shot if he can show that he's at least 75%, 80% of what he used to be between now and February 6th at the trade deadline. So don't forget, while we talk about all these big names out there on the market, don't forget about Lonzo Ball. At the very least, he's an expiring contract that the Bulls can potentially use. But if he can show something, if he can bounce back here, now that he's returned from this wrist injury, if he can show some flashes of the player he used to be, he could be a really important piece going to a contending team from a Chicago Bulls side that is clearly ready to go another direction and would love to get something, some kind of capital in return for their guard that they've spent way too many years without. Everybody, let me know in the comment section, Lonzo Ball, should teams be willing to trade for him and take a gamble on this talented young man who has spent way too long away from basketball? Give me your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to go check out our most recent video on the Golden State Warriors. Maybe they'd be a landing spot for Lonzo Ball, but the star chasing that they're expected to do at the trade deadline. Go check that out right now.